Oh my goodness, talk about a high-scoring game, 46-32. United saying, this is our home ground.
Yes.
Don't get excited now.
Don't get excited, relax.
It's
but
familiar.
Hey, I did call it earlier that it wasn't going to be, it was going to be, close-ish.
Close-ish.
I mean, 46-32.
46-32. I mean, I have
impressive.
to say, considering Wanderers' form in the league right now and how active they are, I thought Wanderers were going to be able to, to show up in a different manner. Of course, it was still a tightly contested game.
Yes.
But of course, I thought they might have pipped TRUSTCO United, but looks like United getting it done at home. And that's nice.
But hey,
the people you love are around
exactly,
you.
Exactly. We're always talking about whether or not there's such a thing as home ground advantage. TRUSTCO is proving that there is. Hey.
Now you've played netball. Let's say you're part of the team that didn't win. You've never played netball? Volleyball is just the height. Come on. Okay, but the sport you've played.
Yes.
Would you stick around? The derbies, there's 2 hours, there's 2 other games to go.
Yes.
You didn't do quite well. Do you stick around, of course, to support the other people, or are you like, ish?
Honestly speaking, I'm going home.
You're going home?
Honestly speaking, I am not a good sport.
You're not a good sport?
I'm not a good sport.
This is why we keep you in studio. Let's head over to the people who do spend some time right there by the netball courts as we give you the highlights from that electrifying derby clash.
Verskoon my nie 'n ingooi nie. United se AV wat gestraf word vir kontak. United se hulpdoel wat 'n ongelooflike goeie bal daar afvat en vir haar span nog 'n geleentheid gee om 'n doel aan te teken. Skeieregter wat daai bal terugbring vir kontak van Wanderers se hoofdoelverdediger. United met die eerste doel van hierdie kwart. Ons stelling op die oomblik 11-7. Wanderers met die volgende afgooi. Spel wat definitief nou teen 'n lekker spoed beweeg. En Wanderers wat 'n punt aanteken. United met 'n baie mooi doel van ver, hulle hoofdoelverdediger wat definitief haar talente vandag tentoonstel. Baie akkurate doel. United wat amper daardie bal afvat, maar Wanderers wat daarin slaag om balbesit te behou. 'n tree vir daardie doel. Skeieregter wat die bal gaan teruggee aan Wanderers se doele. Wanderers wat nou punte aanteken en baie hard probeer om hierdie punteverskil kleiner te maak en hulle self in hierdie wedstryd te hou. Wanderers se VV wat gestraf word vir kontak en United daardie bal sal terugkry. Dit is Wanderers se hulpdoelverdediger wat daar binne 3 voet was. En dit beteken nog 'n doel vir United. United se verdedigers wat daar hard werk, amper daardie bal afvat, maar Wanderers wat daarin slaag om balbesit te behou. Wanderers wat nou baie hard werk om die bal by hulle doele te kry. Verdedigers van United wat baie hard werk om dit te probeer verhoed. 'n Mooi oorbal daar na haar mededoel en die hulpdoel wat daarin slaag om daai bal deur die net te kry, nog 'n punt aan te teken. Dit is Wanderers se afgooi. Net binne daardie kwart. Daai bal ontvang, oorbal na die doele wat goed gekry word deur die hulpdoel. Wanderers wat daardie bal sal terugkry as gevolg van kontak. United met die afgooi, maar Wanderers wat daarin slaag om daardie bal af te vat reg onder die paal. Hulle verdedigers wat definitief hulle taak goed van hulle taak kwyt en daardie bal afvat. Daai bal wat nou vinnig sy pad gemaak het tot by Wanderers se doele. Hulle word egter gestraf vir kontak en United kry daai bal. Wanderers wat slaag om daardie bal af te vat en dit nou vinnig tot by hulle doele kry. Daai bal wat terugkom as gevolg van kontak. Die skeieregter wat sê dat daardie bal uit was, alhoewel 'n Wanderers op toe hard probeer het om daai bal binne die baan te hou. Selfde speler wat ook nou gepenaliseer word vir binne 3 voet. Maar Wanderers wat daarin slaag om balbesit terug te kry. En nou weer eens sal probeer doel. Skeieregter wat daardie bal vir die hoofdoel teruggee. En United wat goed werk om die rebound te kry. Daardie bal nou weer al die pad tot by hulle doele. Oorbal wat amper afgevat is deur Wanderers, maar United wat daarin slaag om die bal besit te bou en nog 'n doel aan te teken. Die skare definitief nou besig om hierdie aksie te geniet. Ons hoor definitief Wanderers ondersteuners ook hier in die skare. Wanderers wat slaag om daai bal af te vat. En dit skeieregter sê dis hantering. En United wat nou daardie bal het. United se doele wat daar bietjie meer as 2 minute oor van hierdie wedstryd. Al die pad tot by hulle doele kry. Wanderers se hoofdoel wat daar soek na 'n spanmaat. Weer die bal terugspeel. Wonderlike gooi daar van Wanderers se hulpdoel vir haar hoofdoel. Ons punteverskil is weer terug by 3 punte. United wat wel maklik die bal tot by hulle doele kry, doel wat ongelukkig misdoel. Wanderers wat nou weer geleentheid kry om nog 'n doel aan te teken. Tyd is op die oomblik net vinnig gestop om die bal te gaan haal. En United wat die bal sal ingooi. Wonderlike werk daar van United se hulpdoelverdediger. Weer eens 'n ingooi vir United in hulle doel derde. Oorbal oor die doelsirkel. United se senter wat gepenaliseer word vir onkant. United se senter wat weer eens gepenaliseer word vir kontak. En Wanderers wat daarin slaag om hulle bal tot onder hulle pale te kry. Alhoewel misdoel, sy kry nog 'n geleentheid. Die slag weer mis. United se hoofdoelverdediger wat daardie bal gryp. En United terug op die baan vir die laaste kwart van hierdie wedstryd. Net 'n regstelling, die telling op die oomblik 32-27 vir United. United ook met die eerste senter afgooi van hierdie laaste kwart. Wanderers wat goed verdedig daar in die doelsirkel en slag met bal af te vat. Wanderers wat sukkel om hulle doele naby genoeg aan daardie doelpaal te kry. Verskeie terugspeel na hulle middelveldspelers. United wat daar gepenaliseer word vir kontak. Doel wat intree en 'n doel aanteken. Wanderers wat beslis nie gaan lê in hierdie wedstryd nie, nog steeds hard werk om voor te kom. Wanderers met nog 'n doel net vir interessantheid. Wanderers was op geen punt in hierdie wedstryd voor nie. United wat die hele duur van die wedstryd tot dusver voorloop. Wanderers wat egter steeds hard aan die werk is om in hierdie wedstryd te bly. United met nog 'n doel, telling op die oomblik 33-29. United met 'n wonderlike afvat daardeur hulle AV. Wanderers se doelpaal gekry het. En nou is ons reeds weer al die pad tot by United se doele. Doele wat kyk om uit te speel. Hulpdoel wat net daardie bal mis. Sy kry hom terug, nog 'n geleentheid en hierdie keer kry sy hom in. Vinnige stop van tyd vir 'n paar veranderinge wat aangebring word. Wanderers wat 'n paar van hulle spelers verander het. Ander hoofdoelverdediger nou op die baan. United met 'n vinnige doel. Wanderers is senter wat bietjie sukkel daar met die afgooi, maar die bal suksesvol kry tot by haar hulpdoel. Wanderers se hulpdoel wat nou tree en daardie doel aanteken. United wat terugspeel en nou nog 'n bal reg oor die sirkel. Wanderers wat daar definitief gepenaliseer sal word vir binne 3 voet United se doele. Wonderlike oorbal daarna, mededoel en nog 'n doel vir United. Met byna 6 minute oor van hierdie laaste kwart is United amper met 10 punte voor, tans 9 punte verskil op die telbord. United wat nou die geleentheid kry om nog 'n doel aan te teken. Daar gepenaliseer word vir kontak en United wat nou die bal het. Wanderers wat amper daar die oorbal afvat, maar eerder gepenaliseer word vir kontak. Oorbal van die hoofdoel na die hulpdoel en sy wat daar die doel aanteken. United weer met die afgooi en vinnig besig om daai bal tot by hulle doele te kry. Wanderers wat gepenaliseer word vir kontak. Skeieregter wat wys hulle moet net effens terug staan. Hulpdoel wat tree en daai doel bietjie meer as 2 minute oor van hierdie wedstryd. United wat beslis steeds in beheer is. Wanderers wat egter daar die bal afvat. United wat gepenaliseer word vir kontak. Wanderers steeds in beheer van die bal op die oomblik. Baie goeie werk daar van Wanderers se hulp toe. Kry egter nie die bal deur die net nie en United weer in besit van die bal. United se hulp toe wat 'n wonderlike wedstryd vandag gehad het, baie akkurate doele van haar hand. Wanderers se senter afgooi. En United wat amper daarin slaag om daai bal af te vat. VV egter gepenaliseer vir kontak en Wanderers nou met die bal. Oorbal na die senter. Senter weer 'n oorbal na die doele. En nog 'n punt vir Wanderers. Amper aan die einde van hierdie wedstryd. United wat definitief probeer om nog 'n paar punte aan te teken. Verdediger wat daar gepenaliseer word vir kontak. En die hulpdoel met nog 'n suksesvolle doel. Wanderers nou met die bal. Center van United wat daar gepenaliseer word. Oorbal aan die doele. En kontak sê die skeieregter. Wanderers se doele wat die bal tussen mekaar probeer versprei. Hulle wat wel daai bal terugkry. Ongelukkig 'n onsuksesvolle doel en United wat die ingooi kry. United wat balbesit behou. Wanderers se AV daar buite spel. En daar is die eindvletjie. United wat hierdie wedstryd wen met 46 punte teenoor 32. Dit was
And those were your highlights. United getting the job done at home as you'd want to do.
Yes, and I mean, you can definitely see the confidence in the way they were playing.
Yes.
They knew what they were doing.
Absolutely.
They're very confident.
Yes.
And I feel like that's the best way to intimidate your opponent.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, look, the more sure of yourself
Yes.
you are, the more your opponent tends to check on themselves to see if they're ready to step up to the matchup. Of course, Wanderers and United, they've got a rivalry that goes on for long enough for them not to really care, you know what I mean, about your confidence, because they're going to want to take you out either way. So United managing to fend off the danger and coming with the result that they wanted on that one, 46-32 in the Derby Day netball game. Full-time score. United is going to be very proud. Can they carry that into the rugby? Is the United spirit going to be, I don't know, like adding water in milk? Can you stretch it out for more hours than you can expect? We'll see how it goes. But for now, we're going to take a quick break before we return with more from the Sport Rap studio.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
All right, we're going to be bringing you some of the interviews from the leaders who were there for that clash at Derby Day between Wanderers and United Netball. But let's swing to some other important Namibian sporting activities. It is the National Athletics Championships.
Yes, currently underway, and of course our sprint queen or sprint princess Christine Boma this afternoon won the national 100-meter title in 11.61 seconds. This is of course taking place at the Independence Stadium right here in Windhoek, and this video is courtesy of Tilman van Loo.
There goes women. 50-meter man. Absolutely fantastic. What a close finish for these ladies. There goes women.
All right, that was the sprint queen herself. Yesterday, she got the 200 meters done. Of course, she spent some time in Kenya last week where the results didn't go as we would have wanted. She's getting her stride, but this is one thing for sure. Out there, she may be figuring it out, but in the land of the brave, she sits, she reigns. Christine Boma does it again.
Yes, I mean, well, we're saying it was very tightly contested.
Oh yes, tightly contested.
Tightly,
so, yeah, but you know,
tightly.
in 100 meters, it generally is. You know what I mean? You know, sometimes you have folks who'll be able to break away. But the thing is, even as an athlete, for some athletes, just to get 1 second faster on their time is years of work.
Exactly.
So you know, it's that close, but for the most part, that's that person's limit, and we know that's not Christine Boma's limit. So to me, as much as I do enjoy how I am seeing how tight it is, because we saw last week she performed internationally. We know that she's currently not at her level, but her level is still enough to get it done here.
The thing is, when you've been out of it for 20 months,
yes,
that severely impacts your performance.
And of course,
even if you are still training and all of that, you're training by yourself.
I go to the same gym as Christine Boma.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely, yes.
Nice.
No, I'll be there. I see her there. Start doing extra reps because I feel like it's time for patriotism. This is not the time to be giving up on the workouts.
Exactly.
I do extra squats when she's there. But yeah, no, I agree with you. And of course, you know, we understand that she's taking in a lot of external entities in order to change her biology, or at least to make it work for what the worldwide athletics body wants. We all have debates. We have our questions on that. You know, it's something that.
But I mean, hey, it's bound to take its toll on anyone. Like,
it's that's what I mean. It's about to take on soul and anyone.
Exactly.
And it's hard not to feel like it's unfair.
Yes, exactly. Because here you are. You've been having. You know yourself, you know what your body can do, and then now you're basically being forced to modify, you know, your biology.
And then readjust to how your body reacts to that.
Yeah, so honestly speaking, I feel like you're saying, she's still just finding her footing.
Yes.
We will see her back in action, doing what she has been doing all
Which
along.
is dominating,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Now, one of the other races was Gilbert Hainuka, who won the national 100-meter title in a blistering 9.86 seconds. This is the men's race. Again, this was at the Namibian Athletics Championships at the Independence Stadium in Windhoek. Here's the video from Tilman. Very well done.
Yeah, I mean, the times are actually quite impressive, but like you were saying earlier on, that it takes a lot for you to beat your own high score.
Absolutely, absolutely. So right now we're looking at the other results from the Athletics Namibia Championships. The 5,000 meter men national champion, Erastus Joseph from Ohangwena. This is 15.28.84. You got to love that. 15 minutes, not 15 seconds. Keep that in mind. 5,000 meter men wheelchair national champion is Rudley Govaseb, T15. 54 commas with a time of 14 minutes, 24 seconds and 21 split seconds. Looking at the other results, national champion 10,000 meters men Fikameni Amtenya from commas 34 minutes, 58 seconds and 10,000. Are you serious? Those times are incredible. 10,000 meter men para national champion is again Rudli Kovaseb, T54 commas. Rudli is really dominating a time of 28 minutes, 42 seconds and 60 split seconds. 400 meter men para national champion is the one and only Petrus Kasanga from the Commerce region with a 56.00 right on the dot with that one. National champion women 400 meter para is Johanna Benson, T37. We all know Johanna Benson, Erongo region. She got that done. All right.
I mean, hey, it's always so fascinating watching athletics.
Absolutely.
And every time I'm watching it, I do have all of these athletes' times, like their previous times.
Yes.
And I'm always on the edge of my seat, like, are they going to beat their previous
Yes.
time? And like you're saying, because it's years of work. It could be
Absolutely.
a split second, but
Yes.
it's years of work that goes into trying to beat your previous best. Because we all know that your biggest competitor is just yourself.
It is truly. I mean, of course, you're running with other people, but truly your biggest competitor is without a doubt yourself. Just now, we are going to be taking a quick break before we return, and we're going to be bringing you netball interviews after that. But like you said, you have to want to do better.
Yes.
If you can't beat someone else, you have to beat
yourself,
your
your
old
previous
self.
best, yes.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll take a short break before we return with interviews from the Netball Derby Clash.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Is het van Seil, maar dan kom uitrol hier aan die posisie.
Like poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance and it is a goal from Vindo Kahan.
Wys hy sê wie hy is er aan neertrek en daai bal het my grond gevat. Ja, hy het grond gevat en is
But just enough next.
Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love it. I love it. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
So as we said, it is Derby Day. We just witnessed an exciting clash between United and Wanderers. United managing to win that game at home. Here are a few highlights, including some interviews from that game.
Definitief baie hoogtepunte in hierdie wedstryd. United se doele wat meeste van die wedstryd baie akkuraat was. Daar tweede geleentheid het sy 'n doel ingekry. United wat definitief net sterker geraak het soos wat hierdie wedstryd gevorder het. Baie harde werk van hulle doele. Wanderers wat met tye effens gesukkel het om die bal by hulle doele uit te kry, maar ook baie goeie doele ook van hulle hoofdoel en hulpdoel. Wonderlike doel weer eens daar van United se hulpdoel definitief een van die beste spelers in hierdie wedstryd gewees. Definitief baie goeie akkuraatheid tentoongestel. Baie kere in hierdie wedstryd kon ons sien verdedigers baie gepenaliseer vir binne 3 voet doele wat egter goed kop gehou het daarmee. Buiten vir die binne 3 voet ook baie kontak waarvoor geblaas is. Skeieregters definitief 'n oog gehou daarop. En dit het natuurlik vir die doele baie tweede geleenthede gegee om daardie doele te sink.
Ek is hier met Jolandi en Lana van Wanderers en TRUSTCO. Hoe was dit? Hoe was julle se experience op die court?
Dit was baie lekker. Ons het skoon gespeel, ordentlike netbal gespeel. Dit was baie lekker om teen hulle te speel. Was 'n lekker span.
Jou kant?
Dit was baie lekker. Ek voel ons het mooi ons het opgedaag en ons het goed bygekom by die telling om gelyk op te wees, maar die einde het ons bietjie afgegaan en is baie warm, maar sover goed gegaan.
Wat dink julle was julle se swakpunte op die court?
Dit hang af van elke kwart, want vir party kwarte het ons doele sleg gedoen en ander kwarte was dit ons verdedigers.
En hoe gaan julle verbeter volgende keer? Ek hoor julle speel weer. Is dit volgende naweek?
Yes, volgende naweek. Maar net harder oefen en vroeër kom om te oefen vir die games.
Okay, en jou kant?
Ag nee, wat ek dink ons daar is baie plek vir verbetering. Ons almal kan in elke derde van die baan 'n baie soos nuwe kombinasies probeer, nuwe tricks leer wat ons kan doen en ja. Maar net die span by hoog hou en alles.
Baie dankie en veel geluk vir julle.
Baie dankie.
Dankie.
Hallo Namibia, ons is by die kus en ons is lus.
By die Easter shot.
Okay. Okay, so yes. Please, today you make sure that we are fed. Kom ons doen hele sorry, ek is nie.
All right, we're going to get back to all the Derby Day action as we start to build up towards the rugby game. But for now, let's go globe-trotting. As we know, sport is always happening around the world, and you might want to know what's going on, especially if you happen to be a Liverpool fan, because right now Liverpool is down 1-0 to West Ham. Tick-tock.
It's not looking good.
After losing to Everton, that was a bit of a terrible one. Now, you know, Liverpool, of course, need to discover their old selves. And this was according to manager Jurgen Klopp. And he had conceded that his side was unlikely to end the season as Premier League champions. And I don't know if that was now an indictment on the chemistry of the team, on the team's potential. But it looks like that's manifesting right now, Diana. Because, as Liverpool visits West Ham, it's not looking good for them. But this was the interview that Jurgen Klopp had before the game, courtesy of Reuters.
I'm responsible for the mood the team is in, and this team was not, I don't say now it's the best place, Goodison Park, for a Liverpool team to play the most positive football. You have to put a fight out there, stuff like this. We lost pretty much all the decisive battles, at least. That was really, really bad. I cannot sit here and say I think they still feel us around. I'm pretty sure Arsenal and City see it now as a two-horse race. They might have to say something else publicly, but they don't expect for themselves to lose 2 games from now on. I don't think so. I don't expect them to do that. If they do it, we would be completely silly if we would then not be around. So So I don't think it will happen, but if it happens, then we should be there. That means we have to win our football games, starting with West Ham against an opponent who is in, maybe, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe similar situation as we are, because they lost their last game properly, I think. So they want and have to show a reaction. We want and have to show a reaction. So let's see who can do that better. The worst thing about a defeat is if you don't learn from it. So we have to learn from it in the short term, not like this anymore, and the boys have to learn from it in the long term as well, with different manager next year, stuff like this, but they will be in similar situations, and that's obviously what they can use in these moments. Experience you cannot buy, you only can make yourself, so we made a really tough one, and let's hope we can use that in the short term for the next game. In the long term it will help, definitely.
And as you said, a new manager, can I ask, obviously Arne Slot has said that he would like to be your successor. He said that last night. What do you think of him as a coach and a possible successor to you, and how would you describe the job that he would be taking on?
So I didn't read anything, but Tony told me that Arne said something, so I don't know anything about it. Not involved in the process, just to clarify that, club-wise, I mean. But I like a lot about it at the first moment that if he is the one that he wants to take the job, really, and is desperate, but come on, let's go for it, excited, rather. I like the way his team play football. I can say that definitely all the things I hear about him as a guy, good guy. Some people I know him. I don't know him yet, but some people tell me that he's a really good guy, and I like that a lot. So, good coach, good guy. Looking forward for the club if he's the solution or the man. Then I'm more than happy. It's not up to me to judge these things, but that sounds all really good to me. What was the rest of the question?
What kind of a job has he taken? How would you describe it?
Best job in the world, best club in the world, best job in the world. And obviously now help even with not finishing on a high, it looks like. So there's space for improvement, let me say it like that. Great job, great team, fantastic people. It takes would take a really, really interesting job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jurgen Klopp admitting things that he doesn't seem to want to admit, but hey, takes a big man.
Yeah, it takes a big man to get that done, and of course, it's every single time you see him walk out of the press conference. As a lover of football, you don't have to be a Liverpool fan. It's a little heartbreaking to know it's one of the last times, and these lads can't pull through in order to make it happen for him. But again, this Liverpool squad has been capable of a lot in the past. Right now, they're being asked for far more than they seem to have the tools to deliver.
Why did you just make it so sad? Now I want to cry.
I
more
do know
emotional.
fun story. My entire family supports Liverpool.
Oh!
And
how'd you end up?
I was actually when I was being told football, I was like Liverpool because that's the family. Yes. But when I learned football for myself, I chose my own team. I went with Arsenal. But it's one of those where I never dislike Liverpool. I always want them to do well. Of course, in this particular case,
But hey, you're saying, it is actually quite heartbreaking, especially the fact that it is his last term. Oof. So,
and he's an animated character. He brought a lot of life into the press conferences, and he spoke honestly. He speaks honestly. I don't like talking about him in past tense. It feels a little weird, but he speaks honestly. And over there, he touched on a bit about the incoming coach. Liverpool has made some waves, but the main reason this is a subject is because there are 3 teams currently in the title race. There's 2 teams which are red, and one of them which is blue. And generally, the one with the blue around this time does not lose. Let's talk about the other red one, Arsenal.
Of course, your beloved Arsenal. All right, so from one manager's press conference to the other, manager Mikel Arteta is not concerned by his players' hectic schedule in the build-up to Sunday's vital North London derby at the Tottenham Hotspurs. Premier League leaders Arsenal would open up a 4-point lead over champions Manchester City if they beat Tottenham, although City, though, will face Nottingham Forest later on Sunday, would have 2 games in hand. 5th placed Tottenham have not had a game for 2 weeks, whereas Arsenal have played 4 times in that period, a 2-legged Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich and league matches against Wolves and Chelsea. Let's see what Arteta had to say.
Enjoying the moment, try to navigate through this in a natural way. They are super competitive at the moment. Everything we do in the training session, they just want to compete, and it's a really good sign because we know what we're going to have to do. We're going to win it, and that's it. And we have to raise the bar every day in training to try to match that. So when we get to games, we are ready.
Find those aspects so important, and do they go hand in hand, or are they 2 separate things?
Yeah, availability, we mentioned that before, there was going to be something key. It's true, apart from Jurian, that is going to be very close, that we have everybody available, and that's a huge boost that elevates the training session, the competition between the players, and the alternatives as well, to pick the right lineup, to change the game, so it's something really important.
When we saw them both against Chelsea, can you get a sense of...
It's good headaches though. Yeah, you feel for the players because as well I see how much they want it and how much everyone wants to start and contribute to the team and impact the team in the right way. So it is always difficult. It's part of the job, but as well they're fully ready to come on the pitch in whenever time that we need them to try to help us to win matches, and the spirit is so good.
Out of respect for you and I don't know what they will do, and they haven't.
Yeah, really impressive with what he's done. I'm not surprised because I know him. He was in the Australian national team when he was in Japan as well. I follow him when he was at Celtic, and he's always been super clear with a really clear direction and identity of how his teams play, and I love the way his teams play. So I think it's been very good.
Hi, Miguel. 2 years ago, similar time of the season.
Interesting visuals there of Arsenal training, particularly because of Jurian Timber. He was out because of an ACL injury. He played 1 game. We got him as a fresh signing, I believe, from Ajax, and rumors are he's going to be back. So that's particularly why we let that video clip play, so you can see the guy. He's looking healthy. The legs are moving.
The legs are moving. They're doing what they need to do. Okay, so
yes.
It's going to be a big day.
It's going to be a big day, absolutely.
And I mean, looking at the last 5 matches, Arsenal has an advantage, right?
Absolutely. Sorry, by the way, Liverpool has equalized against West Ham. It's 1-1.
I actually thought they would. Hey,
you thought so?
Okay, it's not over until it's over, but I actually did think that at least manage to get one in
Oh,
there.
it's good to see it. Let's see how it
So
goes.
we're going to see how it ends. Okay, but anyway, back to Arsenal and Tottenham tomorrow, because Tottenham is trying to get in the way of Arsenal's victory, right? Like they're going to be doing everything they can. And I mean, Arsenal's also going to be doing everything that they can, because the last time they got their hands on the Premier League trophy was 20 years ago.
Absolutely, without a doubt. But let me put it this way. Tottenham was doing the best it can in the last couple of weeks and losing. We did the best we could and we beat Chelsea 5-0. So I want to be afraid of Tottenham, but as you know, when it comes to Arsenal and Tottenham, it's a much more intricate rivalry than Manchester United. It's personal. It's inbuilt. So of course, yes, you expect both teams to show up. Tottenham would want nothing more to ruin Arsenal's title hopes. And Arsenal would want nothing more than to be able to further their title aspirations through a victory at Tottenham. So we'll see how that goes. However, we are talking about teams which are competing for the title. However, there is a team that's not competing for the title, but we have to talk about them. And it's very simple. I can explain to you why it works like this. If you're watching baseball, you have to talk about the Red Sox. If you're watching basketball, you have to talk about the Lakers. And if you're watching football, you have to talk about Manchester United. It's just that simple. Biggest club in the world. It is what it is. So let's talk about your team, Diana.
Why did you have to get it out there? You see, now I'm even stuttering. I don't understand why you feel
so let me get into it. Let me get into it then. All right. It's your team. It's your team.
Supposedly.
So
let's get into it.
Okay, all right.
Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag will have Mason Mount back for Saturday's Premier League game against Burnley, and his hopeful Luke Shaw, Anthony Martial, and Lisandro Martinez will return before the season's end. Mount, who has started just 7 months this season across all competitions, had just returned from a 3-month injury layoff when he suffered a setback in their 4-2 win over Sheffield United on Wednesday. So as Ten Hag's men 6th in the standing, 7 points behind Tottenham Hotspur, who have a game in hand, and so the manager could use all the reinforcements he can get.
Yes, he would. But I promise you, if there's anyone who's been telling us about their injuries, it's Ten Hag. And there's a record for how many times he's mentioned the loss to Arsenal at Emirates. I mean, even last weekend, I guess Coventry, you know, when they managed to scrape through on penalties, he still mentioned that. And let's talk about it. The last time it was a rumor. Now it's really feeling more concrete that Ten Hag will not be the manager of Manchester United. I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the interviews, I'm looking at what Roy Keane and Neville say. It's gotten to the point that they believe that even if he wins the FA Cup, we're not just talking about any FA Cup. An FA Cup beating Manchester City, who could very well be winning the Premier League this year, beating Manchester City is always a big deal. They're saying that even if Ten Hag takes it, it's not going to be enough to keep his job.
No, I don't think it is. In all honesty, I have been saying from the beginning that Ten Hag has, in a way, overstayed his welcome. Like, listen, my problem with Manchester United is there is no consistency, right? You never know what you're going to get. They lose against the smallest of teams and then they surprise us from nowhere when they're playing against the bigger teams. Like,
it's been a while since they've given us that surprise.
It's been a while, but then they actually perform better than you would, you know. Like I'm saying, okay, like think about it. It's you go from one game where you're expecting them to do well. They don't. And then in the next game, now of course you're like, yeah, they're probably going to disappoint. And they surprisingly play better. And you're like, okay, so where is the consistency? There is no consistency. And I don't understand why Ten Hag is failing to get that consistency. Is it because of the... I can't even come up with an excuse for him, because he surely has a lot of excuses for himself.
Oh, absolutely.
And his team.
Oh, yes. By the way, there's an article I read this morning about Rashford alleging abuse at Manchester United, but through the fan base. He was talking about Mark Goldbridge, who hosts a famous Manchester United podcast, and he feels that the comments Mark Goldbridge has had about his career have been unfair. But I don't know, because it seems like Mark Goldbridge is saying what a lot of Manchester United supporters are, which is, if we have a 5-class number 10, we expect him to deliver. Not number 10 striker, but we expect him to deliver without a doubt, you know. And they feel like they're not getting what they should from Rashford. Now, is it a feeling? It's also statistics. It's really what is showing on the field. Now, Rashford has, without a doubt, the capability to be a highly impactful player. You know, if Rashford is running down your left corner, there's very little you can do because he's going to pop that to the right. And once he gets that going towards you, it's going to be very difficult to stop the man. But right now, we have to be honest. He is not in form.
Okay.
Now, him not being in form is costly because right now, Manchester United, I love watching Manchester United fans hate watching the other teams, but there's a stark reality, which is you will not play Champions League football until 2026.
Yes.
That is
That is
reality.
heartbreaking, yes.
And to have a striker that costs this much, that used to play so well, you have to start asking real questions. And it seems like the answer that the Manchester United management is leading, the ownership is leading to, is Ten Hag is the problem.
Yes, and also in a way, I feel like, okay, with Rashford, we're saying how great he was. In a way, I feel like it's getting to him as well. I don't want to say he's carrying the team single-handedly.
Oh, right now he's not carrying. He's got nothing to carry.
He's got nothing to carry.
It's
but
Mino's
I feel
team.
like,
I'm sorry. This Manchester United, I'm sorry, but I'm also happy for you. You need to realize your team belongs to Mino. It doesn't look like that, but we all remember what it was like when Lionel Messi put on those boots and he was 17. He was sparks. He was amazing. Yes, he was playing against Ronaldinho, but we knew his trajectory was huge. And for Manchester United, Mino is that guy. So we'll see how you do with it, but please do continue.
Yes, so my thing with Rashford is I feel like in a way the pressure is starting to get to him. He's starting to crumble under the pressure because, hey, like you're saying, we were seeing how great he was before. And I feel like for any player, that does affect you eventually when everyone keeps making these comparisons of, oh, but you were so great before. What went wrong? Like, I'm thinking he's getting in his head a lot, I believe.
But I mean, it's now the second season of this because it happened before.
Yeah.
And Benny McCarthy, famous South African African legend of football, was credited with getting Rashford back on his game. And it seems like Rashford lost it again. Anyway, let's head over to the comments that Ten Hag had prior to the Manchester United game that will be played later.
You're on back for it? Are you expecting to have 2 regular centre-backs available?
No. So, same squad, but apart from Mason Mount, he will return into the squad.
Obviously, you've had to deal with all manner of issues this season. With certain players like maybe Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez and Anthony Martial, can you provide an update on when we're likely to see them again or if we are going to see them this season?
Yes, I think so. I think we are going to see them in this season. And they returned all 3 onto the pitch. Next week they have to make the step into team training. And so we think, they can be available for the last weeks.
They're progressing well.
Team setup.
It's difficult. I know that from my experience. And partnership so important. On top football, everything has to be decided in split seconds. So then partnerships, so that you know from each other where to run. So small appointments between each other is so important to have the right connections to be stable. I have a lot of sympathy for Ressi, of course, and so last year he had a brilliant season. I think the best season in his career. He scored 30 goals, so there you see where he's capable of. And this season he didn't give the performances, and then people are very critical, and I think we have to back him. And everyone should back him and push him to get back to the levels he was last year.
The fans will say they paid their money, they've got every right to criticise, but is there a line that can't be crossed?
I think he needs support, and we all know where he's capable of. So we all have to support, but also to push him, and because he can do better than he's doing this year, and we have saw last year where he was really brilliant.
Vincent Kompany.
No, we are playing for points. We are playing for the best position in the league, and we are playing to win silverware. So the best team will play.
fell out with each other to a big extent after that 3-1 defeat against Brighton, and also Bruno Fernandes and Scott McTominay. But I think it's important to kind of note that.
That last time that's what you say you can't remember that.
I don't want to.
Now, before we continue globetrotting, the NSSR under 18 selections are currently going on, and we're going to be bringing you information from that as soon as we have it.
Yeah. All right. So, of course, now we're talking international football.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, Liverpool's leading.
Yeah. We're going to see how that goes. I mean, Nunes and Salah, Klopp dropped them last minute. So I feel like in a way that kind of
shook
things up. But anyway, getting into now international football, Brazil's all-time top scorer in both men's and women's football, Marta, will retire from internationals this year. The 38-year-old striker said ahead of the Paris Olympics. Marta, who has been playing in the United States with Orlando Pride since 2017, hopes to make a 6th appearance at the Olympics at this year's Paris Games. If I go to the Olympics, I will enjoy every moment because regardless of whether I go to the Olympics or not, this is my last year with the national team, she told CNN in an interview on Thursday. There will be no more Marta from 2025 in the national team as an athlete. I'm very calm about this because I see with great optimism this development that we are having in relation to young athletes. Marta, affectionately known as Queen Marta, is the all-time highest scorer for Brazil with 116 goals in 175 matches. She is also the top scorer in the Women's World Cup with 17 goals, finishing runner-up in 2007.
A legend. An absolute
the myth,
legend.
the legend.
The legend, without a doubt. I mean, you top goal scorer, men's and women's. Do you know what we're talking about?
Exactly.
Here?
Like
the names we're talking about.
I don't think people actually realize.
We're talking outscored Pele, outscored Ronaldo, outscored Ronaldinho. I mean, the list goes on. Robinho's career was a little short. Outscored
Pele.
Neymar, Pele. She's the greatest of all time.
She is. She
absolutely.
is the GOAT of Brazilian football.
Yes. I mean, women's football without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt. I agree. We're not going to take it that far. But without a doubt, yes, indeed. And Queen Marta, without a doubt, was one of those people who brought a lot of attention to the women's football game with the way that she played with so much passion and expertise over the years, inspiring generations upon generations of footballers. And to her, we say all the best.
All the best. I mean, hey, if we do see her at the Olympics, then so be it.
Yes.
I feel like she would want that, just that final thing. Because I feel like as a player, you never actually fully want to let go.
No.
You don't. You're always trying to push it. We're seeing that with Messi right now. He still has hopes that he will be at the next World Cup. Yes. Even though a lot of people are saying, we're
looking
doubting
a little
it.
tense.
But
but that's Leo now.
Yeah,
I think I saw Leo now something interesting, an intersection maybe, or cross-reference between the way he's changed his game from the physical game. It hasn't always been that physical, but he's playing with even less physicality because he wants to just then focus on facilitating.
Yes.
So ultimately he manages to still play over 90%. He's just not going to put his body there because he understands that age is now a factor to consider. We saw the same thing with LeBron James, known for driving the rim with basketball, known for the dunks, and now you see him more and more taking three-pointers because you want to avoid that contact. The body isn't what it used to be when you were in your 20s, when you were much younger, and we see the same thing with Lionel Messi. But with Marta, she gave us decades, over a decade of incredible football, and we wish her all the best. So we spoke a little bit about Liverpool's succession issues.
Yes.
We do understand right now Liverpool's leading West Ham, but Liverpool's next manager seems set to be Arne Slot. And this is following the agreement in principle between the club and Feyenoord. Yesterday, negotiations between Liverpool and Feyenoord have been ongoing since the Anfield club officially made a move for the 45-year-old earlier this week. Now, the verbal agreement reached between the two parties will see Feyenoord receive £7.7 million, which is 9 million euros, plus 2 million euros in add-ons for Slot, who has 2 years remaining in his contract. Now, Slot publicly expressed his desire to replace Jurgen Klopp, and this is before Feyenoord's victory at Go Ahead Eagles on Thursday.
Yeah, man. The succession game, the succession race, it's a common thing in football. But how are we feeling about him replacing Jurgen Klopp?
Liverpool is a big club.
Yeah.
The form is not ideal right now, but it is a huge club. Big shoes to fill.
Big shoes to fill. You were saying earlier that Klopp really brought a lot of color to the game. He really brightened up the team. He basically awoke the team.
Yes, absolutely.
For lack of a better term.
Absolutely. But you know, Slot does have Klopp's support, so we're going to see how that one transpires.
It's going to be interesting to see. Well,
this is the score right now. Whoa. Andrew Robertson and then Thomas Suchek actually giving Liverpool an own goal there. He's not going to feel very... Why are you laughing? He wasn't trying to do that. You know, did I tell you why I don't play football?
No.
The first time I played football in grade 1.
In grade 1?
The first game.
Okay.
I scored an own goal. And that's why I ended up playing rugby for the rest of my life. Listen, an own goal, there's no deeper sign that you are in the wrong place.
But this is why I still get so surprised when I'm watching Premier League or, you know, all of these other leagues and I'm seeing own goals. I'm like, no.
Own goals are painful.
No.
Painful.
How?
Yeah, truly. But I mean, for West Ham, what are the consequences? I mean, you're not going to get relegated. You're not going to make it into the Champions League. Of course, they're trying to improve their home record. They've been getting pummeled a little bit more than they would like to in London. So we'll see how that game goes. Liverpool seeming to take control and trying to keep their title hopes alive. But the Premier League will be changing.
Yeah.
The boys are back. The other boys in blue are back. The last time they came to the Premier League, like, you know, the last time they just jetted in, they came through and they won. And now Leicester is back.
And Leicester is back. And you know what's funny about Leicester is when they were relegated, we're saying, okay, they're doing good. And everyone's like, oh yeah, no, definitely. And then they hit a slump. And then they managed to pick it back up again.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so Leicester City secures promotion to the Premier League following Leeds United's defeat against Queen's Park Rangers with a convincing 4-0 loss at Loftus Road. Daniel Farke's team remains 4 points behind championship leaders Leicester with only 1 game left in the season. Despite a late season dip in form, the Foxes are still on course to reach 100 points and make their return to the top flight after being relegated last season. Leicester can clinch the championship title on Monday with a victory at Preston, provided third-placed Ipswich failed to win against Hull City on Saturday. Ipswich also has the opportunity to secure promotion to the Premier League next season by earning 5 points from their remaining 3 matches. Leicester City displayed a strong performance earlier in the season on their journey back to the Premier League, despite encountering a slump in form late in their campaign. Their recent 5-0 victory over Southampton marks a resurgence, securing back-to-back wins for the team.
All right, we're going to take a quick break before we bring you right back to the sport happening in the land of the brave.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations unlocks the power of advice and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toyvon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
Attention kids, we have some exciting news for you. We are back and this year we are planning on going big. So listen up. If you are in grade 3, grade 2, grade 1 or pre-primary, we are bringing your free school workbooks to you soon. This is all you need to know about where you can find your books. Books will be available for free in Republican street sale newspapers and all Namibian Sun newspapers. And for all pre-primary kids out there, your books will be delivered to your school in all 14 regions of Namibia. And there's more. Pre-primary books will also be printed in 9 different languages. Check out when your book will be available from the schedule right here. That's not all. Our free online school is there to help you along the way with video lessons and more books to download. You can also follow along on NTV every Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 11:30 for your daily online school lesson. We thank all our sponsors who are helping to build a brighter future for Namibia. Contact us at info@acdtrust.com and follow us on Instagram.
We are all seeking connection to each other, to the world, to the spaces we exist in.
Poor sportsmanship right now from the lads.
You might be physically ready, your body is ready, but mentally.
Here's another chance, and it is a goal from Vindo Kahana.
Sy sê wie hy is aan neertrek en daai bal het my grond gevat. Ja, hy het grond gevat en is
but just enough next.
Running that mountain up. Okay, so we will be doing this for the mountain climber. More advanced, slightly advanced.
So is jou trolley reg? Want
I love it. I love it. So then
kickstart our countdown at number 5 with this one.
Op Netwerk TV se Klets Kompas gesels ons nuus van 'n Maandag tot Donderdag. Ons kyk ook na die weer en meer. Stories wat jou raak en stories wat saak maak.
They've made a mistake in denying me bail, and they've made several other mistakes in many other cases.
The channels that teach us something new or reflect our expression. So it goes beyond switching to the right station. It's about choosing the experience that can adorn the present, dressing it with our tastes as we expand our preferences, because what we are actually connecting to is boundless, limitless human energy. And this is the spirit of NTV.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Now, as we said, as much as it is Derby Day and we are excited by all the sport that is taking place in the country, it is still a somber moment for the rugby community of Namibia, as we are saying goodbye to 3 players who were an intrinsic part of what made us who we are now. Luisa Kutsia, the widow of Etienne and the mother of Ethan and Edmundo Kutsia, who were also involved in the car accident, was discharged from hospital yesterday and is present at the funeral service for her late husband and sons. This despite just being released from the hospital. She bravely extinguished the candles in memory of her husband and 2 sons. This footage is courtesy of the Namibian Broadcasting Corporation.
Truly touching scenes from earlier on there. Like, it's just so heartbreaking. But anyway, nevertheless, moving on to some NSSR news. Albert Aries, the Secretary of NSSR, talks about the 2 under-16 and under-18 training groups that have just been announced. Have a look.
Ons gesels met meneer Albert Aries, die sekretaris van die NSSR. Hoe gaan dit, meester?
Dit gaan baie goed, baie dankie.
Ja, sê, nou julle het sopas oefengroepe aangekondig. Wanneer het hierdie proses begin?
Die proses het begin basis van die 1 Maart af, waar skole uitdinge het basis by die skole, en dan gaan dit na die streek toe, en dan hou die streek hulle streeksproewe, en hulle stel 'n span bekend om na die nasionale proewe te kom wat die laaste 2 dae was.
Okay, hoeveel spelers het julle hier gehad?
Ons het basis, dit was 6 spanne, amper oor 100 kinders basis, kan mense, ja.
Van skole vanaf reg oor die land?
Skole reg oor die land, van Oranjemund af tot Noord en Grootfontein, so en Oos en Wes basis het ons kinders gehad.
Okay, julle het 'n onder 18 groep?
Yes, ons onder 18 groep gekies, en dan het ons ook onder 16 groep gekies. Nou, die onder 16 gaan daar 2 spanne die jaar gekies word, 'n Grand Combo span en 'n Rhino Week span. Dit is die eerste keer ons 'n tweede span kies en onder 16 om na Rhino Week toe te gaan.
Ja, sê, die oefengroep was bekend, waartoe hier vanaf?
Okay, die groot ding is ons gaan 'n oefenkamp hê die naweek van die 10de, 19de, 11de. Daarvan af gaan 'n span gekies word of spanne gaan gekies word en die spanne wat daar bekend gemaak word, hulle gaan as die nasionale spanne in Afrika toe deel.
Wat gaan speel hulle? Watter kompetisies?
Okay, hulle se kompetisies die jaar is die Rhino week in Vanderbijlpark, dan het ons die onder 18 akademie week wat in Jeppy gaan speel en dan ons onder 16 Grand Como wat in Port Elizabeth gaan speel.
Wat is die boodskap aan hierdie spelers wat nou deel maak van die oefengroep?
Die groot ding is hulle moet hard oefen, hulle moet na hulle self kyk obviously en ons wil ons land die beste kan gee. So van ons kant af kan ons net sterkte toewens en dat hulle alles in hulle vermoë kan doen om so goed gekondisioneerd te kan wees en op die regte pad te bly basies en dat hulle kan gereed wees en ons kan trots maak in Suid-Afrika.
Baie dankie vir die tyd, meester.
Ja, plesier.
Attention kids, we have some exciting news for you. We are back and this year we are planning on going big. So listen up. If you are in grade 3, grade 2, grade 1 or pre-primary, we are bringing your free school workbooks to you soon. This is all you need to know about where you can find your books. Books will be available for free in Republican street sale newspapers and all Namibian Sun newspapers. And for all pre-primary kids out there, your books will be delivered to your school in all 14 regions of Namibia. And there's more. Pre-primary books will also be printed in 9 different languages. Check out when your book will be available from the schedule right here. That's not all. Our free online school is there to help you along the way with video lessons and more books to download. You can also follow along on NTV every Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 11:30 for your daily online school lesson. We thank all our sponsors who are helping to build a brighter future for Namibia. Contact us at info@acdtrust.com and follow us on Instagram.
So as we said, it is Derby Day. Yes. Wanderers United, 2 teams that know all too well about each other.
Yes, and I mean, when we watched the netball, we were saying that, okay, TRUSTCO dominated that. So we're trying to see, we're curious to see if that will carry over to the rugby
yes,
and all
that's
the other sports
right.
codes.
Absolutely. Looking at the rugby is going to be happening at 4 p.m. Everything to play for, and part of everything is the log. Let's have a look at the NRU rugby log as we can see how these 2 teams are currently situated. And you know what that means for their ambitions. FNB UNAM is at the top, followed by FNB Kudus, and then Wanderers are third, right there on 16 points, 10 points from the top, 4 points away from Kudus. FNB Grootfontein, who are playing the Kudus, on 14 points, just 2 points behind Wanderers. So Wanderers need a victory, because if they don't win and Grootfontein wins, it looks like there might be a switch there in the middle of the table. TRUSTCO United, 7 points. They are obviously trying to do their best to get into that top 4. 7 points from Grootfontein. They would certainly want to do much better than that. So let's see how they approach the derby today. FNB Rehoboth is on 6 points, as well as FNB Western Suburbs. So they are taking the 6th and 7th position on the log, and they are followed by FNB Rio Falcon, which is on 5 points.
All right, so I honestly feel like with TRUSTCO United, we're going to be seeing some very interesting, it's going to be a fun-filled, jam-packed match.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Okay, let's just quickly talk about
that. Let's talk about the other games that you can expect. Rio Falcon, a very emotionally packed day for them as they face Dolphin. We'll see how that one transpires. Grootfontein will be taking on Kudus. Rehoboth 1 is going to be taking on Western Suburbs, and United 1 will be facing Wanderers. As you know, that is the Derby Day clash.
Now swinging back to Derby Day. Okay, so with netball, yes, of course, TRUSTCO won, but I don't think we're going to see the same with the rugby, honestly speaking. This is just my opinion. Not to say, not to say that, oh, they're bad players or they're not a good team.
Are you making a prediction? I just want to know what you're doing here.
Maybe.
I know it's not based on the last result.
No.
Okay, so that means you bought into what JD now said when he was talking about the Castle Light series.
Yes, and honestly speaking, this is just me going off of the log, how the log looks, because right now Wanderers is above TRUSTCO United. So of course, they are still going to be playing even, I feel like, better than we expect them to, because they are still trying to get more points. Because we're always talking about how once you slip up on points, it's hard
tough to get back.
Yes.
But you know, Wanderers are the previous champions, and on the screen right now, that's the netball results, just to make sure you stay updated on how Derby Day has been going. TRUSTCO United 46, Wanderers 32. But swinging back to the rugby, Wanderers, they are the previous champions of the rugby league. So it's, yes, of course, Derby Day is its own thing. But yeah, like you said, they are trying to do their best to get back to the top of the table. But it's Derby Day.
It's Derby
You know what I
Day.
mean?
I
And
know
United
what
understands what that means. And, you know, I remember 2 Derby days ago, United had 1 drop kick. And that would have been enough to win the game. I have never seen a ball go more wayward, Diana, I tell you now. and you know, the Fly have been having a wonderful game. But sometimes it's the pressures, that's that last moment. Because Derby Day, everyone, especially the rugby game, the people are right there. They're right around you. If they're giving you compliments or if they're saying things that your mother might not want to hear you being called, you're going to hear it all. Because it's Derby Day. Everything goes, essentially.
But even with the fact that it is Derby Day, right? Like you're saying, everything starts, you start to get in your head a lot, right? We've seen that. We've seen it happen a lot. But again, because it is Derby Day, everyone wants to be the one that's victorious. No one wants to be on the losing end.
Yes, absolutely. Lovely to see the 2 teams there. I just want to know, like, Diana, because I need you to put your foot down. I need you to go 10 toes down. Are you making a prediction? We're absolutely allowed to do this. There's nothing stopping you from making a prediction.
Honestly speaking, I'm not, because again, I actually don't know what to expect, because I feel like both teams are bringing their A game. It's Derby Day. Their pride is on the line for both teams.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the history. Let's talk about the history. TRUSTCO United were crowned winners of the Derby last year when they won it at Wanderers Field in a tight game that ended 33-30. That's 3 points. 1 try would have been able to give Wanderers the victory. Now, United also edged out Wanderers in the dying seconds of the NRU Premier League final last year with Renier Bernarde's late penalty, a result that built on the growing reputation of coach Robbie Dixon's side as one that knows how to peak when it matters most. However, the 2024 season started with a hangover for the Philistines as they were beaten in their first 3 matches all away to FNB Grootfontein, FNB Unam and FNB Kudus before beating FNB Western Suburbs 34-23 in Commersdal last weekend. Now, in contrast, Wanderers slipped badly in their opener against Unam before putting together a winning streak against Kudus, Western Suburbs and FNB Rio Falco. Now, this week, Wanderers are at 3rd position on the NRU log standings. United's first win had moved them up to 5th, although still far behind on 7 points from 4 matches. However, over the years, the derby between these 2 rivals has shown that recent form or current log standings count for nothing, and neither does the favorite or the underdog tag. United captain and inside center JD now said the team spirit is high. We've been putting in the work. We had a good game against Suburbs, so this is a huge game for us. We'll give it everything we have, and I'm sure Wanderers will do the same. So like I said,
the only prediction I am going to make is that the scores, either way, it's going to be a very painful game. It's
rugby. I think pain is generally a part of the menu.
No, but I feel like with the results, we're looking at
tightly contested.
The margin is going to be very, very tight. I'm talking 2-3 points. Like
2-3 points. Okay, it was 3 points the last time.
Yes.
Okay, no, but look, here's the thing. We're looking at your prediction right now. We're just obviously JD now is actually the United captain, right? And he was talking about United's form. So, like reframing that, United has been doing okay. You look at the log. Wanderers has been doing better. You look at the personnel. I think most people would probably just put Wanderers just above United. But like it said, like Brian Monango said, the underdog or the favorite tag does not matter today.
Yes.
It is Derby Day. But I need you to
No.
put your 10 toes down and to make a decision. Because I'm ready to make a decision.
No, you can start.
I'm ready to make
You
a
can
decision.
start. I'm
Now,
listening.
you
We're
know,
listening.
Diana,
We're
as you know,
listening.
rugby is a gentleman's sport.
Yes.
And I too am a gentleman who believes that ladies truly, unless we're entering a cave, should go first. And so I just think that right now you have a little faith in Wanderers. A lot of faith in Wanderers.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind, Wanderers is the away team. Their home support, of course, will be there. We're still in Windhoek. Olympia is not so far away from their home ground, but it's going to be a tricky one.
It definitely is a tricky one, and you know I suffer from indecisiveness, and I'm not too confident in any of my predictions. History will prove, big Premier League, big whatever, AFCON, whatever
Are
it
you
is.
afraid of being wrong, Dan?
I don't like being wrong. I hate being wrong. So this is why you are stressing me out right now. But to be fair,
Yes.
it feels like I'm leaning more towards Wanderers.
Okay, in that case, I'll balance it out. I'll lean towards United.
Okay.
Fanny Duplessis, we are together, my brother. We're not in the commentating booth together, but right now in spirit, it's you and I against her, buddy. We're going to see how this one goes. Let's take a quick break before we return with more action in the sporting world.
Hallo Namibia, ons is by die kus en ons is lus.
By die Easter shot.
Okay. Okay, so
Yes, please, today you make sure that we are fed. Well, come on, sorry, ek is nie.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
All right, so before we swing over to the Derby Day action, the Kudus have been getting it going. A couple of Kudu tries, and Captain Cameron Langenhoven shares his thoughts about the game against Rehoboth in Walvish Bay. The match finished 39-23 in favor of the Kudus. Here's that interview with Cameron Langenhoven.
Julle moes diep gaan krap, maar julle het hom. Hoe voel jy?
Was 'n goeie game. Lekker gewees om rugby te speel vandag.
Baie dankie aan Rebot wat uitgekom het en dankie vir die skoonheid van hulle kant af.
Sê wat is die planne vorentoe, Cameron?
Nee, back to the drawing board. Ons het nie gedoen wat ons wou nie. Ons het 'n bietjie in 16 manne gespeel vandag, maar dis nie 'n verskoning vir ons performance nie. So back to the drawing board en baie aan ons vaste fasette. Weer 'n bietjie werk daar insit.
Rebot volgende op die kerfstok.
Nee, ons speel Grootfontein.
Grootfontein volgende op die kerfstok. Wat beplan julle daar?
Grootfontein weg, so dit is definitief 'n moeilike game. Ons sien uit vir dit. Lekker travel, so goed voorberei hierdie week en aanpak.
Dankie Cameron.
Kudos to the Kudus getting it done against Rehoboth there. Good game for them. But like we said, right now on NTV, we're about to cross over to Derby Day. Let's have a look at the team list of the gentlemen that will be taking the field in this epic clash. All right, so we're looking at United, the home team. We're going to start off with the front row. We have Jano Otto, Elf Duplessis, and Richter Steenkamp. Warren Marais and Zander Bronckhorst are your locks. Terhard Lindfeld, as well as Fedi Mazela are your flankers. Eighth man is PJ Ilonga. Then Jano Duplessis is there. Scrum half, you know what he can do. Enrico Fansale is your fly half. Number 11, Yandre Esthazen. Number 12, JD Nal El Capitano. Ricardo Swartz is sitting at 13, and then it is Bronwyn Willemse at 14. Fullback Lorenzo Lewis. Let's have a look at the Wanderers squad. Front row, Herschel van Veek. Very, very, very incredible player. That is Albert Nokia. His name is typed small, but that's a very big man that coming in at hooker. Ignis Tripodi is going to be coming in at the number 3. Over there we have Ortona sitting at number 5, and Brendan Nokia are your locks. Darius von Solms as well as Sharon Rousseau are your flankers. Prince Joseb is 8th man. Ooh, Prince, that man's got pace. Let's see how he does in this game. Jacques Theron, ooh, the main man. I know I keep saying ooh, but it is a ooh moment. Jacques Theron, scrum half. Andre van der Berg, fly half. I promise you, between those two, you're not going to see many errors. Looking at number 11 is Terekuya Shipute. Number 12 is Naiti van Rensburg. And number 13, we have Johan Deso. Number 14, Mundiwato Karwombe. And number 15, Geraldo Bierkes. Those are the two teams that are going to be stepping onto the field for the Derby clash. Here are some interviews from the players.
Okay, so we are joined by JD, who's the captain of TRUSTCO United's first team. JD, the derby's around the corner, big match again. Just tell us, how's the vibe in the dressing room and how are you guys feeling for this game?
Hey, Brian, I think it's difficult to explain it to anybody. It's like a pressure cooker of excitement and tension, nervousness, but most of all, we look forward to it.
Okay, well, I spoke to Jacques earlier, who's the captain of Wanderers. I was asking him, how important is it for you guys to make sure that this event is part of the culture? I mean, it has been coming for a long time, and how important is it for you, or how happy are you to be part of the team that might also be making history once more?
Yeah, definitely, Brian. I think it's over a century old, the derby between Honours and United. So to be part of it on any given day it's beyond expression. I think it's a very positive thing for Namibian rugby to keep this going. And I implore anybody that loves rugby in general just to come out and enjoy it.
Okay, well, Saturday is definitely going to be a wonderful day here out at TRUSTCO. Yeah, but going into the game, what can we expect from TRUSTCO United?
It's going to be a hard-hitting rugby. We've had our provisions. I think we've had a good week. We also had a good game against Suburbs, our previous game. Nice kickstart for us. So from our side, we're going to give it our all. We're not going to hold back on any facet of the game. But I'm sure Wanderers is going to come with the same intensity. It's going to be a humongous game. That's all I can say.
Okay, well, before we do let you go, for the viewers that are watching at home that will be wanting to be tuning in for this one, what do you have to say to them?
No, like I said, please, guys, come out, come enjoy the moment. It's going to be good rugby. It's going to be clean rugby. It's going to be a huge event.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brian.
Ons is met Jacques, kaptein van Wanderers se eerste span. Jacques, derby is om die draai. Stel net gou vir ons, hoe is die hype rondom die span en ja, hoe voel die span vir die game?
Die build-up vir die derby is altyd 'n grootte. So ons het al laasweek begin, ons het regtig begin effort insit, die span opbou. Almal is regtig opgewonde, almal is excited vir die ene. Derby is een van die grootste, behalwe vir die finals, dit een van die grootste games vir ons. So ons sien regtig uit vir hom.
Okay, voorbereidings in die game, hoe lyk die span en ja, hoe voel jy oor die derby self?
Nog nie seker oor die span nie, ons sal seker teen donderdag 100% certainty hê. ek's baie opgewonde. Ek dink soos ek sê United Derby, Wanderers Derby is altyd 'n grootte. So ek is opgewonde vir hierdie een om te sien wat albei spanne kan bring.
Okay, voor ek wil laat gaan, hoe belangrik is dit vir julle om seker te maak die derby bly iets in die kultuur waar julle altyd vier en seker maak jy word gehou?
Ek dink is baie belangrik om dit vorentoe te aan te doen. Dit regtig dit bring kykers. Dit bring 'n opgewondenheid wat ek dink nie enige klub game sommer bring nie. So ek dink is belangrik om dit volgende jaar weer te doen of die jaar daarna weer. Ek dink regtig is 'n groot ding.
Okay, expectations wat wen, I mean dit sal sweet wees, maar ja, wat is expectations vir die game?
Van die begin af het ons gesê ons wil 'n statement maak hierdie jaar en ons wil wys ons is hier om hierdie liga te vat. So ek dink hierdie naweek gaan nog 'n stapie in die regte rigting wees vir ons. Ek dink dis die doel, is om te wys ons hier.
Okay, dankie.
Dankie.
There you have it. Bright and sunny faces.
It doesn't seem like, from when you're reading the team lists,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like my prediction is too far-fetched.
I don't think it's far-fetched.
Uh-huh.
That's not the issue at all. The issue
Okay.
is that this is a game that goes beyond physicality. It's a game of spirit.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's
a game of
Derby
pride.
Day. It's a game of pride. Are you serious? We live with these guys. Where are you going after the game, mate? We know each other. And that's why we're excited for today. TRUSTCO United taking on Wanderers. It's Derby Day. They've been going at it throughout the week at different events that have been showing for Derby Day, and Netball United managed to get it done. They're going to absolutely be happy with that result. And now the rugby game is coming your way. It's going to be United versus Wanderers, brought to you by NTV. You are at the right place. If you can see us, you know where to stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But in case you want your options, we don't blame you. DSTV 285, code if you're 25, youtube.com, oneup2.com. If you want us, you'll find us. So your final prediction is Wanderers will win. 10 toes down.
10 toes down.
My final prediction, like I said, is that I will stay United with Fanny du Plessis. I'm going to see United pipping Wanderers. Again, like I said, as much as it is a game of coaching, it is a game of strategy, it is a game of physicality on Derby Day, it's a game of spirit. Over to you, lads.